Good evening, BookTube. This is Johnny sitting in my main study. It is going on 10 o'clock on November the 23rd, 2017. It is a Thursday night. From what I've been told by my wife and other people, today is Thanksgiving. So, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I'm sitting in my main study. I'm going to get my December 2017 diary ready into the year. I already got a calendar for next year already. Got it right here. January 2018. So I got 2018 already. Oh, my dentist appointment is on February the 8th, 2018. So I get my teeth cleaned. My chompers cleaned. So yeah, so I'm here doing my diary for December 2017. I thought I might as well do it now since we're coming to the end of the month. And so yeah, not much going on tonight. I was reading before I made start making this video. I was reading For Love and Money: A Writing Life, 1969 to 1989 by Jonathan Raban. This section I'm reading in this book is on their biographical sketches on writers. I just read about Charles Kingsley, and then I read about Trollope, and the next one is on Mark Twain. So I was reading that before I came in here to do my diary. I ended on page of my 2017 diary, 1053. So I'm going to use red for December 2017. I use yellow for November. I think I have these in order as far as color. So the colors, I don't have two months of red or 2 months of green, but that I have them all in order. This is not what I want. I need my Sharpie. What I do when I get a diary, I put the month on it. So make sure I don't have it upside down. I did that one time. I was making a video. I wasn't paying attention. So December is the last month of the year. It's when, see, December. It's when we celebrate the birth of the Messiah. I don't celebrate Christ Mass. I don't. We did when we were raising our kids, and our kids celebrate Christmas, but I started celebrating Christmas when our kids were growing up, so they might have memories of having Christmas. But I never really have been into the whole American Christmas, Santa Claus, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer kind of trip. I'd rather just focus on the birth of Christ. So I got that ready, and then I put the calendar in one of them. And then it's all set for December. And then I can put it in my drawer. Usually at the end of the year, I take a photo of all 12 months, which is 24 diaries, or, well, I usually use 2 folders a month, as I've mentioned. First folder is the first 15 months of the month, and then the last half of the month goes into the second folder. Because I found out over the years that usually a folder holds about 63 pages, and I usually write, probably, I don't know, but I usually write. But anyway, it's a comfortable. Maybe I write maybe 80 pages a month. I don't know how. Sometimes I write more. Usually I write 3 pages a day. So 3 times 30 would be, I don't know. I'm not good at math. I suppose it would be, what's 3 times? 3 times, yeah, it's probably about 90 pages. Something like that. So besides reading For Love and Money, A Writing Life by Jonathan Raban today, I read some more of the Book of Disquiet, the complete edition. This is the new edition that came out, published by New Directions Books. This is by Fernando Pessoa. This is translated out of the Portuguese by Margaret, I think it's Jull Costa. Margaret Jull Costa. I also read today collected essays of Elizabeth Hardwick. And I read The Lonely City, Adventures in the Art of Being Alone by Olivia Laing. This is a really good book. And I read some more of Schlesinger, the Imperial Historian by Richard Aldous. And I read some more of John Russell's book on the city of London, England. Those are the things I read today when I wasn't watching the birds or writing in my diary or watching YouTube videos. Remind me of a YouTube video I was watching. I think it was Wild Reads, and he mentioned that his girlfriend got for him his birthday ancestral.com, where you send in your DNA sample and you find out your ancestors. Well, I don't think I've mentioned that our son Josiah, he did that. He sent his DNA into ancestral.com because he wanted to know, well, as I mentioned, I never knew my birth father. I have no knowledge of who my father was. So Josiah was kind of curious if he could find out through ancestral.com by sending in his DNA, that they would find out where our ancestors, where my father came from. And he worked on it. Josiah, he started ancestral.com when he was in Calvin College, and every once in a while he goes and he gets, as you know, our son Josiah is a history teacher, American history teacher at a high school, Christian high school in Seattle area, Washington. So anyway, he sent his DNA in, and to me it's very complicated. And Josiah has shared with us all his research and what he found out over the phone. But what he found out, I'll just be very brief here. He found out that our ancestors come from the very southern, western corner of Virginia. And the Keens, as you know, my last name is Keen. And my DNA, our DNA matches this batch of DNA. There are people they're in this area of this very corner, the western southern corner of Virginia, that we have matches of DNA with. And Josiah talked to one of our long distant cousins, and so anyway, to make a long story short, our ancestors come from the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia. They were farmers and coal miners. My ancestors fought in the Civil War on the Confederate side. My great-grandfather, great-great-grandfathers, he went all into it. So my son believes that's where my father came from. And there is even a place called Keene Mountain, Keene, K-E-E-N Mountain, in that area, where the Keenes, and they're all a bunch of Keenes still in that area of Virginia. So, but he couldn't find my father's name. He found somebody that was in the Navy, stationed at the time that I was born, but he had a different name. He didn't have the name that was on my birth certificate. So it was still a mystery. But anyway, so I still found that kind of interesting, but that the DNA, there's a bunch of the same DNA that we have, the Keenes, is found in that little corner of Virginia in the Appalachian Mountains. I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know if I'm making that clear. To me, Josiah, our son, could make it more clear, but so anyway. So that's what's going on here, what I read today. I got my diary ready for December 2017. Tomorrow is a Friday. Tomorrow I once again volunteer at the library, use bookstore, the Book Nook, from 10 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. It's supposed to be warm tomorrow in the 50s, partly sunny. My wife works tomorrow night. She goes in at midnight tomorrow night. And she's off Saturday and Sunday. So nothing really going on. It was a very quiet day today. I just basically read, wrote in my diary, watched the birds, wandered the house, messed with the computer, looked at BookTube, and sat in silence. And now it's going on 10:14 at night. I will go to bed soon. I'll download this into YouTube, BookTube, and thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for the comments. Feel free to ask me any questions. But yeah, I don't know what else to add. I'm supposed to get some books in the mail, but the New York book